analyst Joel Klatt. Glad you're with us.
Good to be here.
Exciting season.
You're not going to be glad.
Yeah.
It's too soon. I do want to start with you, Skip.
Thank you. I'm the college football expert on this table, right?
Well, we'll see.
Do you agree with this anonymous coach?
I do agree that Nick Saban is overrated as a football coach. I still don't believe he's the overall football coach that Jim Harbaugh is, even though I cannot defend Jim Harbaugh's results so far at Michigan. But allow me to detail this.
Please.
If I was able to coach Alabama, and you gave me these recruiting classes from 2011 to 2017, second in the country, then 1, second, and 1. So 5 out of 7 years, I'd have the best recruiting class, and twice I'd have the second best. I just think I could win 1 national championship with all that talent because you're stockpiled 3 deep at every position with blue chips. Every position. So we look at Nick Saban as a football coach, and I'm going to remind you, he did try pro football once, and it lasted 2 years, and it was pretty close to a disaster. He did go 9-7 the first year, but they missed the playoffs in Miami. And then he went 6-10 the next year, and he was gone. And I'm going to just to play him off Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh did turn around San Diego, then he turned around Stanford, and everybody thought he was going to turn around Michigan. And what has he done at Michigan? On defense, he's had the 4th best defense and the 1st best defense and the 3rd best defense for 3 years. He has had no quarterback for 3 years. Now he's got one, I think, in Shea Patterson. He looked like he was a quarterback to me at Ole Miss. So let's see how he does this year when he has a real, live, authentic college football quarterback. Because I look at what Jim Harbaugh did at San Francisco as an NFL coach. It was extraordinary. He walks in the door, and they go 3 straight years to NFC championship games. And one of those years, they made it to the Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick. He had the guts to change horses in midstream from Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick. They should have won the Super Bowl. Colin threw a pass that was very controversial. I thought it was pass interference. They should have won the Super Bowl. That's how good Jim Harbaugh was at San Francisco. And I think he's still going to be very good at Michigan if the Michigan people can just hold on for 1 more year, because Nick Saban has had an embarrassment of riches at Alabama. And if you want to talk about best recruiter, I will give you that. But best overall coach, don't get me started on the 8 40-plus point games his defenses have given up over the years at Alabama.
He almost got that many national championships, too.
Yeah, okay.
Got 6.
Well, I'm just not buying it. He can recruit. I don't know if he's the best coach, because I think Jim Harbaugh has proven to be.
Khaki pants ain't in the league.
All right, there was a lot there. Let me start with this.
Unpack it.
You said if you gave me that class, I might be able to win 1 national championship. No,
give me 7 classes.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could.
How
do you know I couldn't?
You also talked about how Harbaugh can go out there with any quarterback and do extraordinary things.
No, I mean, he hasn't had one.
Okay, so that's the only
finally
limitation.
got one.
That's the only limitation to Harbaugh.
Well,
and you
look
made this
at
a
his
Harbaugh-Saban thing. I love Jim Harbaugh, but
look at those defenses that he's put together at Michigan. They've been really good. They've been Saban-esque.
They haven't been Saban-esque. In fact, if you go back to 2007, the year that Saban got to Alabama, since that point, Alabama is #1 in the country over that time frame in total defense, scoring defense, passing defense, rushing defense.
Really?
So they've been the best defense.
So I saw
and you can
Trevor
also
Knight
say
score 45, and I saw Ole Miss score 43 and 43.
Yeah, and
I saw
all of those,
Ohio
and they're
State
still
score
the
#42.
1, and they're still the #1 defense. He's won 5 national championships. Hold on for a second, because you're claiming that Jim Harbaugh is only a quarterback away.
Yeah,
okay.
At Michigan.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. This guy won a national championship with Jacob Coker.
Okay. Who did
I just
college
say?
quarterback?
Jacob Coker.
Okay. But,
I mean,
but Nick Saban's MO has been, I will surround the quarterback with the best defense and the best running game and the best offensive line.
That's part of being
and I don't want a star quarterback.
In the world of the current day media landscape and the type of rhetoric and takes that get thrown out there, this take by this anonymous coach that Nick Saban is the most overrated coach in college football is the worst take I've ever heard. It is literally the worst take I've ever heard. This guy has been there for 10 years, and he's in 10 seasons, he's got 5 national championships and 4 home losses. He's got more national championships than he has lost games at Bryant-Denny. He's 66-4 since 2008. They've got the #1 defense over his tenure. And guess what? in college football, it is about recruiting, and that's how we evaluate your ability to be a quality head coach. So the fact that he had the #1 class from 2011 to 2017 means that he's a great coach. By the way, a lot of head coaches cannot recover when they lose assistants around him. Guess what Saban has done? He has been #1 in the country at some point in every season since 2008, regardless of all the assistants that have left, regardless of style of quarterback play, regardless of quality of quarterback play.
Wait, no, Belichick
Nick
was made
Saban
by his quarterback,
is,
not Belichickian.
Nick
Opposite
Saban,
of.
Nick Saban is the best college football coach of this era and maybe ever. Because this decade of dominance that Bama has had has been unrivaled in the history of our sport. And to say otherwise is just not factually true.
Wait a second. I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan, and Bud Wilkinson won 47 straight games.
How many national
Will that ever
championships
be
in 10
done
years?
again? No.
See, Skip, see what...
Well, I'm just saying.
That era was incredible.
Okay.
And it wasn't
and
a
you know
decade.
why?
And it wasn't a decade. All
Because
I'm saying is it wasn't a decade.
they
That
had the
5-year stretch
best
was
players.
incredible. But that's part of college football. No one says, hey, Ozzie Newsome, he ain't any good because, look, he got to draft Hall of Famers. That's his job.
I know, but it's the opposite of the NFL's reverse order drafting system because the worst shall be first. In this, it's a monopoly. You have a corner on the market because once it starts, it just feeds off itself, and year after year
So
after
that
year,
means
you got
he's
the best
overrated?
class.
That means he's
Okay,
overrated.
I told you he's a great recruiter. I don't know about coaching.
Well, that's the #1 thing.
You don't know about coaching.
That's the
Did you hear what I just said?
But that's not the whole.
That's the
okay,
#1
but
job of a college
okay, but
coach.
if we're talking about all-around football coach, you cannot compare the resume of Jim Harbaugh and Nick
You
Saban
absolutely
it's
can.
not. You cannot.
You
He was
absolutely
a
can.
disaster
Who knows?
in pro football, Joel.
He went to the
was a
playoffs his first year.
disaster.
First of all, he went to the playoffs his first year, and if that
did
front
not.
office wouldn't
He
have
did
botched
not.
the Drew Brees decision, he might still be in the NFL with multiple
He
Super
did not.
Bowls.
He did not make the playoffs either year. He went 9-7, 6-10.
But
out.
It was
Gone.
His
Fired.
His medical staff failed Drew Brees on the physical, so you flunk Drew Brees and you take Dante Culpepper. Who knows how things would have turned out?
Do you like Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, I like Colin
Okay.
Kaepernick.
So what did Jim Harbaugh say? He said, "Watch
You're
what I
making
do with
this a
Colin
Harbaugh
Kaepernick."
Saban argument. I can love both of them. I can love both of them. And
But
I
I'm
can
just-
say Nick Saban is
Jim Harbaugh
incredible.
has shown me more as an all-around pro and college football coach than Nick Saban.
Has Jim Harbaugh won a conference championship?
No, he has not yet.
Won two
Did
championships.
he
Didn't
win a
he
conference
close?
championship?
Think about it if he'd have stayed at LSU, Skip.
Okay, he's only coached at Michigan for 3 years.
I understand
Yeah.
that. I'm not trying
They
to
got a
tear Jim
shot
Harbaugh,
this year.
But you used him as the example of what Saban isn't, and I'm just telling you you're wrong.
Okay, did Nick Saban win in pro football? No, he was this wipeout.
But you got
Didn't work.
You have to have a quarterback in pro football, and he didn't get that, Skip. But people forget what Alabama was before Coach Saban got there. 3 of the 4 seasons they were losing under Mike Shula. He gets there, and they haven't looked back.
Okay, he's a great recruiter.
But that's the number
part
one.
of the
That's the
business.
number one job of a college coach. You got to get the horses. Skip, he has 5 titles. Bud Wilkinson, Coach Wilkinson, and that great. What was that? That was in the 40s or 50s.
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 Mm-hmm.
He won 3 national championships. Oh, I mean, but that ain't 5 in 10 years. So he won 3 in 3 consecutive years. What are the other 2? And Coach Saban lost 1 with no time on the clock, so he should have 6.
I still can't get Joel's stat. #1 defense when you've given up 8 times 40-plus points in your tenure.
Skip!
How do you do that?
Can you tell him
Well, you add up all the points, and then you average them out, and then you do that across all teams, and you realize that Alabama's the best defense.
In 120 games, he has 8 games he's given up 40-plus points. In 120?
If he's as great as you say, he should have no 40-point games.
Not in this day and age. That's just
40
unrealistic.
points?
That's just unrealistic.
Oklahoma once, Ole Miss twice, Clemson, Ohio State, Johnny Manziel. It's like 40, 40, 40, 40. Really? That's
Really? He got 4 losses at Bryant-Denny? 2
4
of them
since
came, 2 of
08.
them came to Heisman Trophy winners. Cam Newton and Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
You can't hang your hat on. You can't be mad at that. The 2 best college players that year hang an L on you.
It's a very flimsy limb when you get out there in the Nick Saban is overrated area.
Well, the good news
You
is
talk about khaki pants is in his league. Now, if you want to say coach,
In his league as a coach? Yes, he is.
no.
I'm just glad college football's back, and we can keep this conversation
Oh,
going.
I'm sure we will.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure we
throughout
will.
the year. And don't forget to check out
sure
Joel's
we
top
will.
25
7.
on the Fox College
Let
Football
me give you a
Twitter
heads
and
up who
Facebook
number 1
pages.
is.
Joel, Gus, and I, we kick off our
Yeah.
season next Thursday.